Hey, Makina. I'm doing alright. And yourself? Good. Good. I got the new ultrasonic cleaner in today. I ran into just a small issue though with it. I don't have a place to put it. It is but a minor issue. One I shall be able to figure out, I'm sure. The box it came in wasn't that great of shape either, so I'm hoping that there's no damage done to it. Because I know it'll be at least next week before I can even try it out. But at least this one's got dual frequency, so it should actually do its job, opposed to my last one that kind of seemed like it did its job, but half the stuff wound up missing. Aw, man. I dropped a screw. Oh well. Alright, let's see how these Power A controllers do their thumbsticks. Alright, what kind of sticks does this have inside? Does it have 4-prong, 3-prong, or 3-prong micro? Let's see. We have micro. Son of a bit. Okay, well, let's see. It was only the right stick that was having issues, so hopefully some deoxit will clean this right up. Because this needs to get shipped out tomorrow. Oh, I forgot. Okay. I also got a new grinding pen in today, so that should help out a bit. It's weird this was working just fine a shake ago. Software being weird. Okay, so that's weird. I can say I've not seen the grinding or the sticks cause the other stick to move. The heck? I know that's simple. Just one of these cheap ones. This one says E108. Pretty much a knockoff of the M-Ant ones I used to have. Okay, Y is up. And down on left, causing right stick to react. Okay, so that's a bit strange. As I said, don't think I've ever come across a controller where up and down on the left was causing left and right on the right stick. Is it 3-pronger? Do I have 3-prong metal sticks? No, I just have the plastic thick ones. I'd have to assume that it was an issue with the wire. That's the only real thing that would make sense on that. Oh, wait. You tell me, but a customer bought it from us online, so I gotta figure some way to get it figured out. Alright, let's take off the triggers, because I would not be working on this right now if it wasn't for the fact that it's already been bought and paid for. That's so much better. Okay, let's keep this going. You know, I don't really have to take this off, do I? Let's see if I could just move these info potentiometers back enough. get in there and rub some antioxidant. Okay, right, works. Left seems to work. So, I'm just gonna solder some new points. Okay, so I think that should do the trick on at least the connection issue. Now to just quick pick these, bend them back just a bit, and we'll drop some antioxidant in them. Hey, Jason. Hey, Ryan. It's a good question. I'm sure we'll find out soon. I didn't miss an email from you, did I, Ryan? Okay, as long as you and I are on the same page of probably not. How's things going for you and the missus? You guys faring alright? Well, that's good. Yeah, something about the cabinets and stuff would be there in the next couple days, so he may not be streaming until afterwards because he got to deal with that. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. And then I will bust him for making it seem like I'm not busy. Is that how that's supposed to go? I guess so. This is one of the weirdest ways to do a D-pad, but whatever. PowerA is the multi-million-dollar company, and I barely have $600 in my account right now. And that is either going to go to rent or a order for parts. I'm hoping to do parts. Oh yeah, big time. Cost me 25 grand the last time we had to move our store. And that was the cheap part. One of these days I will have a home to work from. Okay, this came apart really easily. So why is it being such a pain to put back together? Am I missing something? I gotta be missing something then. Just a damn cheap third-party controller. Can't be besting me. Oh, yeah. I can only imagine what it would cost to get it from Singapore up here, especially not through a business. Oof. Yeah. I don't want to deal with that. That's way too much above my pay grade. Okay, here goes nothing. Hopefully this worked. Because I don't want to spend any more time with this controller. Doesn't feel bad. Let's test her out. That hurt. Cool. So this Power A controller is now fully functional with no further issues. All it needed was to be taken apart and cleaned. And technically some deoctet in the potentiometers for their controllers. And some solder touch-up. I'm sure the customer will be more than happy to get it. You do you? See, I wish I was half as smart as, like, more than half of you guys. Make your own deoxit, Coder makes his own liquid metal. What's his face made his own thermal paste. Fuck. How do I become half as smart as you, Ryan? Common formula. See, I didn't even think about looking for a common formula. Ryan, share with me your secrets. How do I become half as smart as you? Whoa. Well, Jason, I wasn't talking about you. Okay, Joey? Your new name is Joey. Oh no! And Ivan Joey does tech. Joey Tribbiani from Friends. That's who we're changing you to be. Mean YouTube. I mean, that is sort of the new TV nowadays, isn't it? Everyone used to watch all their dramas on regular television. Now they're all watching their dramas from their favorite YouTuber. Okay, we now have a Power A controller that will be getting shipped out to a customer tomorrow. Yay! As the Yeti turns. Oh man, I'm gonna have to remember that one for one of these streams. Alright. Now to do a customer's repair. What number are we on today? Today we are going to do number 5699. And yes, I know I'm doing these out of order because right now I am more cleaning up my area and less doing orders. Man, This holder that Ruggers told me to get for the Moon machine, beautiful. I should have got 2. That's a funny one. Like, I really should have gotten 2 of these holders. This holder's a lot nicer than this broken one that I got, that Hacko sends out. Found something interesting. I did a customer repair, right? The customer was complaining that their repair was taking too long, which I understand completely. I agree, it took longer than I anticipated. That's even funnier. So I messaged him, let him know that, hey, your repair's done, I apologize for the delay. You know, because of that delay, I'm going to give you this discount on the repair. When you get a chance, just come on in and pick it up. You know, not a single response yet. It's been almost a week, and it's like, dude, come on. I just need a simple response. Even if you tell me to go screw myself, you ain't paying me squats. I could just keep the console. You know, that's a better response than nothing. Yeah, I'm trying not to, but you gotta keep in mind, like, you know, I am behind on a lot of these right now, so right now I am working on my backlog. Once I get my backlog done, that's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing any discounts or anything like that. But these backlog ones, I mean, dude, like, some of these are stupid simple repairs that I should have had done. I've just been extremely busy, and they're like 3-4 months behind. So I'm giving them like 30% discounts, 40% discounts on the repair, you know, as a like apology thing. And I know I shouldn't be, but like, I don't know, I'd rather lose the money from it, from that repair itself, than have the negative reputation associated with it. Yeah, life does happen. Unfortunately, people just don't see it that way and they take it out on me. But like I said, once I get out of this backlog, there will be no more discounting repairs. If I'm late, I'm late. You know, I've been doing what I can not to take any complicated repairs in. I've been explaining to customers with simple repairs that you're looking at a minimum of 2 weeks to 1 month. And they're like, well, why? Like, because I've just got so many repairs in right now that I am backed up on it. And I've been told that was the issue that my family's game store has, is the fact that we were constantly doing like sales and discounts. And I also started noticing it, that the customers that would actually pay weren't coming in anymore. And it was only the scalpers and resellers, and they were asking us, hey, when's this going on sale? And it's like, yeah. So I told my family we should stop with the discounts and sales and do promotions once in a while, not every week. So yeah, sales have been low, but I mean, At least the sales I'm getting are actual sales, you know? They're not sales because, you know, it was 10% off or 30% off or something. But I'm trying to keep that in mind when doing these repairs. It's just sometimes not the easiest. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Our sales went from customers all the time buying from us to Facebook resellers trying to get us to lower prices on products that we're already the cheapest on in the full entire state. So, like, unless you mean doing sales every now and then is okay, but like the whole weekly discount stuff, I had to put a stop to because we were losing money too frequently that it wasn't helping us. Perpetual sales. You're gonna make me look up big words, dude. We just established I am not smart. Okay, that's what you mean. That's what you meant. We just established, dude, I'm not smart. I just play someone with an IQ on YouTube. Apostrophe RE. Please don't hate me, Ryan. I've got too many people on my hate list. You can't spell, I don't understand big words. We're all a bunch of great technicians. We're the smartest. Oh, fuck. To think I used to bust Lewis about that. Because every time he would be like, oh, I'm not really smart on this, and it's this and it's that. It's like, bro, you're memorizing, like, spots on a motherboard I can't even figure out how to tell you. But then he'd come back with, yeah, on, like, 5 motherboards or 10 motherboards, dude. You're trying to memorize, you know, 50 years of hardware. And it's like, I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same token, like, still. Which reminds me, I gotta get some stuff cleaned up, because when I get some of my stuff cleared out of the way, I have to get a box of hard drives ready to send to Lewis. Because I sent him 1 box of hard drives, and he was cool and sent me, like, flux and stuff that I needed. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool of you, man. And he's like, yeah, no, dude, your hard drive saved us a good amount of money, so, like, this is nothing, that's okay. And it's like, well, damn, I really appreciate you. But that's not why I did it. I did it because I don't want to see the hard drives go to waste. Don't say that, Ryan. I get scared of that every single day, dude, that, like, I'm gonna wake up forgetting who I am. Like, I already have a hard time remembering my own birthday. It's like, dude, come on. Like, this is one of the few times where it's like, I'm going to use the excuse of, I am not that old. Like, I am not old enough to be having this bad of memory. We don't know, Jason, some freak. But, you have dozens of spinning discs? Dude, send them to Rossman. Because what I did was I got a priority mailbox filled. I put a thing of bubble wrap on the bottom, and I put all the hard drives in anti-static bags. I documented what I had for my own business purposes, because obviously I'm sending him products of mine, even if they are to be disposed of, and I shipped it to him. Like, I'm not expecting anything from him, but I've also not done it for a while because I have a console that I'm working on, or that I gotta eventually get back to work on, that I need the hard drive on it. And I'm gonna be 110% honest with you. I lost that hard drive years ago. I have no clue where it's at. But the easy part on it is once I get stuff cleared up, I'll be able to identify it a lot easier because it's a PS4, so it will just not boot to storage if the hard drive is incorrect. So throw hard drives into the PS4 until it goes through. Ah, nice. You know, one of these days I would love to learn to forge, because I always thought it was pretty cool to do blacksmithing. And if I could take like if I could take these metal shields that I get every now and then that are like completely wrecked, you know, bent out of place, broken everything, uh, then I would totally melt them down and make new ones. Like, I would not mind getting a crap load of these metal plates that are broken, clean them, melt them down, and make new metal plates for consoles. I need life cat on. See, I'm just practical about my recycling. You know, one day I want to have enough of an area that I can just straight up like, oh look, this N64 shell is shattered to pieces. Okay, I'm gonna toss the shell into this box. This is gonna be a grinding box. At the end of the month, week, whatever, I'm gonna dump all the broken plastic that's in this box into a plastic grinder, and I'm gonna make plastic uh, filament out of it. Okay, a punch press and die. So I melt them down into a metal, metal square, and then have a laser cutter cut this thin slice, and then put it inside of a press, punch it down, die it out, or do the punch press and die. Bada bing, bada boom. You know, this obviously it's stuff I would have to figure out, but I think that would be like the ultimate recycling. Is like, hey, I work on video game consoles all the live long day. I have access to constant flow of video game consoles for refurbishment from my family's game store. Why am I spending $60 on brand new shells when I can get the equipment set up to make, you know, and tossing all this stuff into the landfill when I could turn around and reuse it for something? Yeah, it is expensive. So I melt it down into something else. There's a million things I can melt it down for. I can make metal gears from it. You know? There's bound to be something that I could do that, spend a few $1,000s to get the equipment, and once a month, you know, just don't do repairs, take a break from everything, and do nothing but remanufacturing this stuff until I could get enough of a flow that's like, hey, I'm gonna hire you $30 an hour. This is what you have to do. Follow this to a T, and then have someone else doing my remanufacturing for me. You know, there's bound to be something I can make out of it. Okay, so we won't remake these. We'll forge it to something else. What's the worst thing that happens? I take this metal, melt it down, and we reforge it into Damascus blades. Do you know how cool of a marketing thing that is? This Damascus blade was forged from the soul of thousands of video game consoles. That would be cool too. I actually did at one point 3D print parts of Master Chief's armor just to make a point to someone. Yeah, I was learning bladesmithing at one point because I was gonna make jewelry. Because when I was in high school, it's like, oh, dude, I could pay $15 for like 5 ounces of silver. No, actually, I think it was more. Because I remember paying $15 and I got a good stack of silver from the coin companies. But literally would go to my art class, make jewelry out of it, and resell it to people. Then it got to the point where eventually the school got a 3D printer for the engineering team, and I learned how to do 3D modeling and then 3D printing. And then I started 3D printing the jewelry and then going to the art room and forging them with lost wax to make jewelry. Then I made a comment to the art teacher and I'm like, hey, what's the difference between what I'm doing and like the guys that make like knives and stuff? And he's like, well, you're doing silversmithing. Technically, what they do is called blacksmithing. Uh, these are the main differences. This is what you would need to like get going. You couldn't really do your lost wax method with blacksmithing because they would be really weak. So you'd have to compensate that somehow. It's like, haha. So like, I try to learn as much as I can. I don't always pursue stuff, but like, if I at least have the practical knowledge, eventually I'll be able to figure something out on how to do it. Or at least that's the hope. Then again, I've had people tell me that that's like whatever the new mental diseases are nowadays that everyone seems to have. And I'm like, look, when I grew up, I hate to say it, but like the people with mental diseases were the ones that were mentally incapacitated. Like, that's the people who got the help that they needed. Like, the people who literally could not take care of themselves. All the rest of us, any mental stuff we had, deal with it. So that's kind of just how I grew up. So it's like, even if I am mentally, like, unstable and gone and stuff, dude, I've spent my whole life dealing with it. I might as well just keep going. You know? Why gripe over something that I have no control of, or that my controller is minimum on? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's also why I don't gripe about politics, because I got no control over politics. I can vote whoever I want to vote, and at the end of the day, still not much I could do. Okay, none of those pins seem to move. What about you? So that first pin there, I don't think it's moving, but at the same token, I'd rather just quick solder it down. Just quick. Now it's guaranteed it's not moving. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. if I could get all 8 of these consoles repaired in the next couple of nights, that would be awesome. Because then that would mean Monday I can place my order with both my distributor for repair parts and with Amscope and get myself the new microscope setup that I'm wanting. And I am hesitant saying wanting because I do want it, but at the same time I kind of need it because I can't keep holding this microscope when I'm trying to work. So it's that awkward piece where it's like, I don't need, but it would be a lot more convenient for me to have. And I'd rather buy Amscope than, you know, pay half the price for something I'll replace in a year anyway. At least I feel with Amscope I should have something that lasts a few years. Oh shoot, I forgot the... Yeah, Yeti needs bigger space. 6'1" and I'm working in a space that I can't even stretch my legs in. It is pretty much my fault though, like, there's so much I could get done. Yeah? That would be cool. When I get the time, I'll have to hit you up about that. Because I keep meaning to set mine up. Because I'm like one of the last people up here that even bothers trying to do arcade repairs. But I also don't have space, so I've been turning down all the arcade repairs I've been offered in the last, like, 8 months. But if I had a JAMA bench harness set up, that would help me out on that. Are you gonna start repairing arcade machines, Ryan? Oh, nice. See, I got my start repairing Atari consoles. Then gradually moved up to Nintendo, then computers, then so on and so forth. Very nice. I haven't been repairing quite that long. You know, only about 20 years. So, 2005-ish is when I started doing heavy-duty repairs, I guess. Still. Always so cool when seeing that stuff. Well, then you might be happy with, you know, my future plans. You know, because I eventually plan on getting a lot of the stuff in here cleared out, and then getting some arcades repaired. While I know my work will never slow down, I can at least manipulate it so that way I have a little bit of an easier usability with it, I hope. That's like these foam pieces on the HDMI ports. I would love to find out where I could buy them from. Because I'd love to have just a handful on hand to be able to be like, oh, yeah, no, let's put this one back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, did the Yeti botch it, or did the Yeti fix it? Oh, that's gonna be awesome. I gotta see this. Yeah, minor distraction from my repairs, but that's okay. It's a good distraction. It's not like, you know, I'm stopping to look up naughty things. You know. I did miss. No, wait. Yeah, I did miss an email from you. Ah, yeah, no, that is fair. Makes sense. I can also probably do that with freight on the medical machines. You said you sent me the list? I don't have a list. Maybe it's my phone. No, Yeti doesn't have a hub. That's so weird, Ryan. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, I'm sure it'll show up. It'll be one of those things where 6 hours from now, my phone's gonna pop up and be like, by the way, you have a new email from Rhine Labs. Oh, okay. Eh, it's sometimes a goofy setup. Okay, back to the repair. Because it's almost midnight and I haven't really even got anything done yet. I'm talking about getting 8 consoles repaired in the matter of 2 days. Okay, 1 PS5 Slim. See, for this past month of January, I was not taking in any work, uh, with the minor exception of when people were like, hey, by the way, this company told me to go talk to you. And it's like, look, you're looking 2 weeks to a month right now, only because of how many repairs I have in. But I even explained that I get considered a lazy tech, which I think is a false statement. Because if I have like 20 PS5s that all are HDMI ports and they're all approved for repair, even if it's out of order, I'll just knock out all 20 PS5s. So you could drop off a PS5, and if I were doing nothing but PS5, excuse me, HDMI repairs that night, I might just do yours that night, you know? So it's that awkward piece where it's like, I don't at this time go by number 1, 2, 3, 4. I go by these all need the same exact repair. I already have my tools set up for this repair. Let's get this repair done. And the wiggle test approves. PS5 Slim is repaired. Okay, carefully lift off the plate. Don't let it touch anything. It would not be the first time that I've accidentally shorted something on a PS5 because the plate touched something. Yeah? I'm trying to knock that habit because it's not really useful except for when I'm doing repairs for my family's game store. Because then it's like, oh, this week I'm repairing nothing but GameCubes. So let's make sure I got all the parts I need to get a crapload of GameCubes repaired. But when it comes to customer repairs, it's like I really should get back into the rhythm of go repair 1, 2, 3, 4, and only skip over if I'm waiting for parts on that repair. It's something I'm working on. Kind of like waking up early enough in the morning. Like this morning, I don't know what happened. I woke up bright and early, ready to go. For some stupid reason, I sat down on my bed, and the next thing I know, I'm 3 hours behind. And it's like, kind of a... I was so close to. Like, I wasn't tired or anything. I literally just stretched up and sat down on my bed, and the next thing I know, it's 3 hours later. I'm like, man. in a couple of weeks, I gotta reach out to Paul Daniels and ask him how much his software is, because I've been using the free one and I keep needing to pay for one. But I want to also get one of his microscope lights. Because everyone praises his microscope lights, so I'm hoping that his microscope light will help me with the new microscope setup that I'm getting, or planning to get. That would be cool. Especially if you could do it, both of them in the same light, so that way you have this nice bright LED, and then you could just like flip a switch, and it goes from regular LED to UV LED. FBV Pro. What is FBV Pro? Oh, his software is $150? Is that what you mean, Makina? Okay, cool. Then I gotta get a hold of him February 1st to get it. Jesus, $600 from DigiKey for that, Ryan? The heck? That's nuts. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. Did you bother talking to him about it at all? You know, sending him a link to the $600 one and be like, hey, you know, if you can make something like this, you know, I'd pay you X amount for it. Because I too at one point would like to make my own stuff. But that seems like a real smarty thing to do, and I don't have the smarts, I think. Oh yeah? That's cool. If it's any good, let me know so I can save up the money to buy it. I may be poor, but I would rather have good equipment that's gonna last me a long time than cheap equipment that I have to replace. Awesome. The heck? Seems a bit excessive. Then again, I'm not really sure how much money stuff like that would cost, considering I don't have a Cessna airplane. Wait, is that for an airplane? I mean, I can't imagine that I mean, it's an antenna. That seems a bit nuts for an antenna. Cool. Case 5 still works. I mean, $500 for a separate GPS antenna or $1,000 for an antenna. I'm not really sure which is worse at that point, man. Jeez. know what we're gonna try again? Because I'm already getting tired and I feel incredibly bad because I want to get more work done, but at the same time I'm also pretty tired. So I'm going to compromise and I'm going to do lesser work. I.e., we're going to convert an Xbox One controller to an Xbox Series controller and then to TMR sticks. Because I say it can be done. You're gonna go lay down and not sleep? Why, Ryan? Why don't you go lay down and sleep? I hear that it'd be good for you. Get some sleep. Rest, my friend. You had a long day, and you'll have a longer day ahead of you tomorrow. So use this time. Yeah, I don't know how to help you with that. Sorry, man. Ah. Well, try to have a good night, man. Hope you at least at some point wind up getting some sleep. Heck, it's acting like I don't have Zadig on here. Zadig or whatever. There we go. Okay. Now we let the system update it. Oh, cool. Update finished. Alright, let's quick see how bad this is. Oh. Right stick. Okay. Hey guys, attempt number 2 at converting an Xbox One controller with TMRs. Will we be successful this time, or will I get annoyed like last time? Who knows? Should I be repairing controllers experimentally when I am tired? Probably not. Am I gonna do it anyway with this one? Yeah. Because I want to. Am I gonna use the moon machine? Actually, no, I don't think I am gonna be using it this time. Because that's a little bit too aggressive, and with how frail those pads are, I don't want to give any reason at all for it to even attempt to pull the pads up. So we're gonna go slow and steady. Use some flux, use some solder wick. Slow and steady wins the race, they say. Okay, so far it doesn't look like there's any ripped pads. Okay. Okay, time to find out if this worked. Actually, no, it's not. clean it first, then find out if it works. Hey Ace, how are you doing? I cannot complain. I'm trying to see if I can install TMR sticks on an Xbox One controller. Which we will soon be able to see the fruits of my madness. Okay, so ever so slight jitter it looks like, but it still goes back to center. Well, customer is having no complaints about paying me 40 bucks to repair both sticks on his controller with PMR sticks. And considering the sticks themselves cost me $4 wholesale for the pair, with the brand new caps and everything, yeah, I don't mind making $36 for using my skills. And it looks like this one has a minor jitter as well. Yeah, I charge $25 a stick or $40 to do the pair. And Xbox One controllers tend to be about 40-50 bucks. Xbox Series controllers tend to be about 60. And has ever so slight drift, but nothing that is going to register. I don't know, 10-20 minutes. I don't think I took that long on this controller. Okay, so the Xbox app seems to be fine. I want to try using drift guard. Okie dokie. I mean, even if it takes me an hour, you know, this one's the experimental one. If I could get this one done and it works, and I can cut down my process, I can start knocking these out in the same amount of time it takes me to do a PS5 repair. So I mean, you know, 30 some dollars to get controllers done. It's worth it to me because it also means there's less parts in the dumpster, or less products in the dumpster, and more people dropping stuff off for repair. Still see that minor jitter. So it's not really any better. We still have this minor jitter. That jitter is so minor, like, I really doubt it would affect gameplay in any way, shape, or form. Although it's cool that this now has an internal serial number. Three 3627. 3627. Holy crap. Yeah. And with that minute of a jitter, I mean, the jitter itself is so minute that it's well under its zone. I mean, you're talking 0.00565 being the biggest jitter point. So, I'm gonna say that I have successfully installed TMR sticks on an Xbox One controller. So, that's cool. That's a first. Now we just have to uninstall WinDrivers on this and WinUSB. Has it really been 10 minutes, Ace? I mean, I've just been goofing with calibration settings, so. Like I said, it's worthwhile to me, so. I don't mind if it takes me a little bit longer than it should. But I have successfully installed TMR sticks on an Xbox One controller, Ace. So I am making the claim to be the first one to at least advertise it on YouTube. Because I know all these other people who were doing this process to get the calibration setting for these. So I'm going to say I'm the first one to do TMR sticks successfully. More or less. What's it matter to you, Ace? Well, what do you charge to install TMR sticks on controllers? What? MK did? Fuck. Well, I attempted it first. How many days ago was I attempting it on stream, Makina? You were here when I attempted it on a regular white controller. Okay, so I'm gonna say I attempted it first. Apparently I'm just too slow in every aspect. Yeah, see, a week ago. Ah. I mean, I'm more glad that I'm not the only one that's like, wait a minute. You've installed TMR sticks on Xbox One controllers, Ace, after you just sat here telling me that it wasn't worthwhile. Not Xbox Series, Xbox One. Well, fuck. Well, looks like I'm just useless and pointless on everything now. Well, at least I got it done, so. Quick clean this up and then I'll go to bed a failure, like normal. Well, I mean, I charge 40 bucks, so the $36 is just my profit. I appreciate it, Makina. You still haven't answered me, Ace. What do you charge customers to replace both joysticks and a controller? $90 Australian? Okay. If you were to offer it, what would you want a customer to pay you if they said, I don't give a shit how much money you charge me. I want you to charge me and do this repair for me because I can't solder worth a damn. What would you charge them for on TMR sticks? 132 Australian. Which is 90 US dollars. Cool. I'm not going to raise my price on mine because I'm more than happy with charging my $40 for the 2 pairs. Or for the pair. You know, business is business. If I get 100 customers who will pay me 40 bucks to repair their controllers and save them from the landfills, then I'd rather have that than 5 customers who are willing to pay me $90 to repair their controller. For 110. So why would you charge more for Xbox One? That's only $75. Yeah, see, I can't, I would not be able to get away with charging customers $150 for repairing their controller. Uh, I cannot confidently say I would be able to do that. Are all in Euler S? What? YLUR? I don't understand. I mean, dude, I think Booter charges what, 60 bucks to do TMR stick upgrades? And nothing against Booter, but I I don't see customers are a pin. Oh yeah, pain in the ass. That makes sense. See, I don't even do Hall Effect anymore. The moment TMR came out and I was able to buy TMRs for as cheap as I can, I'm like, fuck it, I'm not doing analog, I'm not doing Hall Effect. Your options are TMR, or maybe down the road TMR tensioner sticks. I'm kind of reserving the tensioner sticks for the DualSense Edge controllers. I mean, hey, that's cool, Ace. I find it worthwhile because I would rather do this repair and get another controller out there working than see another controller go in the trash. Now, eventually, I am going to be setting up recycling bins at my family's store for electronics recycling like Best Buy does. Probably because the series controllers actually have pretty decent boards with pretty good solder, or pretty good traces, whereas the Xbox One controllers are cheap in the way that their traces are and pads. There's always bigger money to be made elsewhere, Ace. You know, I agree with you completely. There's definitely way more money to be made with other stuff. But I don't see why I should stop, you know, providing it as a service. It's a nice, quick, cheap service. I just take a little bit longer on some of these because, well, to be fair, I'm tired. If I was repairing during the day, I probably would have gotten this done in half the time. Actually, maybe not, because this is the experimental one. Yeah, I understand that, Ace. But you also got I look at it in the long haul. Like I said, 100 customers paying me $40 to repair their controllers, and it takes me a few minutes to get the job done, or 10 customers paying me $90 to get their controllers repaired while they're cursing me because they could just go pay $60 to $80 for brand new ones. You know, the customers up here in Alaska don't really have a, oh my god, you're giving me better quality kind of attitudes. They have the, why would I pay that much money for something when I could just buy a brand new one kind of attitude. So I take what I can get and I get nothing back. Well, I shouldn't say I give nothing back. I give plenty of stuff back. You know, business isn't always just time and money. It's also customer relations, and if your customers are more than happy, hey, that's 100 more customers lined up at your door for repairs or sales. You know, everything has its pros and cons, and I'd rather take those cons and be the only one in Alaska doing this job at a good, decent rate than just be another guy that's like, hey, $100, I got you covered. But now, this Xbox One controller has brand new, beautiful TMR sticks. Ah, fuck, that's what I was doing. I completely forgot I was going to take a look at this D-pad. Because the D-pad didn't feel right. Still functions, it just doesn't feel right. Yeah, that's also why I got a new ultrasonic cleaner. Because I'm going to start tossing the plastic parts in the ultrasonic cleaner while I'm doing the hardware repair. So that way I've got clean parts, or clean plastic parts to use right away, opposed to hand cleaning them. And I'll cut down a little bit in the time it takes. Fair. Are you still naming? Huh? Naming? What do you mean, Ace? Speak English. Yeah, you do run yours a lot differently than mine, and you will be a million times more successful than I will ever be. But you're also not the type of business model I want to follow. Okay, so that did need a new D-pad there. Do I have any brand new D-pads anymore? Okay, so I'm gonna have to message this customer and let them know I need to get a D-pad button for them. Do I not have any? I could have swore I had some brand new D-pad buttons. Apparently so, Ace. What the hell? I just bought a bunch of those. That's PS3 HDMIs. Well, looks like I am calling the customer up and letting them know I do not have the buttons for the D-pad, and I will have to take care of them that way. Hey Sean, how you doing today, Mr. Causeway? Is it already that late? It really is that late. Jeez. Actually, let's see if I can restore that button since it still technically works. It's just not as bouncy. Doing okay. Nothing to complain about. Just another day. Trying to make another dollar and get customers happy. Actually, I may not need to contact the customer about that. Seems like all I had to do was bend that little metal piece a little to give it its spring back. I mean, still not as springy as I would like, but at least has a better clip to it now. So, this one should have no issues with it. Eh, today wasn't a bad day. I ordered Domino's because I was hungry and needing food, and I ordered one thing of cheesy bread, the jalapeno bacon one. So along with like pizza and other stuff, and they delivered me two cheesy breads. One was jalapeno and bacon, and the other was pepperoni. And I looked at my order, I'm like, huh, I didn't order two. Tried confronting them about it, and they're like, no, there was no errors made. And it's like, if you say so, boss. Yeah, that left D-pad, I would rather replace it. But at least now it's got a click to it, so. Anywho, I am going to bed now, peoples. I hope you all rest well. Or if you're not going to bed, hope you have a great day. I will see you all in the next one. Laters. Oh wait, if I do something for 8 minutes. Oh no, I'm not staying up that late. Alright, later.